Hello, you're listening to the Mets in the UK podcast, your home for Mets content in the UK. You can catch us on Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcast hosts every Tuesday. You can also find us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, X, at Mets in the UK, or use the hashtag MITUK to get involved. I'm back. I'm joined by Toria and Tracey. Evening, ladies. How are you doing, Tracey?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you, my dear? We've
I'm
missed you.
good. Yes, back from all my travels, over 2,000 miles around France, and quick trip to Norfolk to see the family. So I've been out for a while, but happy to be back, happy to be hosting. I think I've missed Mets baseball at the right time. What on earth? Like, anyway, but yeah, it's good to be back, good to be hosting, and you guys did a fantastic job holding it down whilst I was away, so well done to all of you. Evening, Tor, how are you?
Evening. Smashing life, mate. Just
Yes.
everything is wonderful.
Oh,
yes. How are you? Well, you just said that. I know you're back.
It's okay. I'm good. Yeah,
we have
all good.
We have genuinely missed our Bald Spice being around. So we're very very pleased that
Not needed. You guys did it without me. It's fine.
No, it's just
challenges.
very much easier.
Okay, all right. So we'll have a bit more structure this evening. I'll try and keep it as simple as we can, back to the normal format. Starting off with a recap of the last week. Mets lost the series at home to the Braves 2-1. Lots of home runs in this one. Nimmo, Pete, Alvarez, Beatty, Soto, Lindor, all hitting home runs. This was the one where we saw the Mets hit 9 runs and still managed to lose a game, which is impressive even by their standards. Then went on to play the Mariners at home. We won a series. Oh my God, can't believe it. We won a series 2-1. Lindor, Soto, Alvarez, and Vientos hitting home runs. Mets are 3-3 on the week since the last pod. Tracey, thoughts on the games over the last week?
Firstly, I'll take that 3-3, given the performance prior. And I loved the Little League Classic. It was so cute. It must be really great for the young players to meet who they aspire to be. And I hate to say this as well, but ESPN actually did quite a good job on the coverage.
Yep.
Which is not something, these are not words that normally come out of my mouth, but on this case, they actually did a really good job. And interviewing the players was really good. And they had the commissioner on as well, with some interesting takes.
Yeah. Are we going there? Are we not going there?
Well, why not? The biggest one was that basically at some point in the future, the NL and AL as they stand at the moment will be no more and going to purely geographic regions. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, guys.
I think this was always on the cards. I think that there are some of the divisions that it doesn't make sense from a travel perspective. You know, you look at the NL, I want to say it's the NL West, where you've got like the Dodgers, you got San Diego, you got Arizona. Like that's a short travel distance, and yet for some reason we're lumped in with the Marlins, which is quite a big travel distance on the NL East. So I think it was inevitable it was going to happen. I know the traditionalists that are out there are going to absolutely hate it. I think from a player fatigue kind of thing, it makes sense. However, you know, every team plays every team now. They've kind of done away with that, haven't they? There's less division games. There's more like you play everyone. So I don't think we're going to notice it too much. It'll be interesting to see where the expansion lies. It'll be interesting to see how that's going to turn out. There's been a couple of people on X today that have posted their take. I think if it's geographical, you're going to have to keep New York separate. They're going to have to be in separate divisions. There's a lot of teams in that northeast corner. I think they're going to have to be kept separate just because you increase the number of games between those two. There's potential for trouble there. But, you know, on the plus side, you're looking at more games, the likes of Pittsburgh and their beautiful stadium. And I'd rather that than When we go down to Miami. But that's my take. What about you? Earth to Tour.
Oh, sorry. Well, you said what about you? So I thought you were replying to Tracey.
Yeah, what about you?
I didn't catch the tour bit. So I am one of those traditionalists as a rule, and my instinct is to kick up a fuss. No, it should be AL, NL. That's how it's meant to be. However, back in the good old days, there were distinct differences between how the AL and NL played, even as far as, the strike zones were a little bit different. And I think once the NL adopted DH, it was kind of the beginning of the end. I do think that, there's so much on player welfare, and the travel side of it is a big thing. I think also the more, let's say, eco-friendly travel is always going to be a win as well, because there'll be less, cross-country stuff. So honestly, I want to kick up a fuss about it just for the sake of it, because I like the traditional game, but I don't think that we have. I just think it's been a long time coming. I don't think we have the traditional game left anymore that makes sense to have NL and AL. As far as the groupings go, I would like to see the two New York teams in the same division. I think that the rivalry anecdotally has weakened somewhat over the years, certainly since I've been watching. I think the Yankees kind of had that automatic dominance, and that's just kind of seeped through. I think that now we're becoming more competitive. I think having the opportunity to face them more frequently will only help that. I don't think it'll be trouble. I think it's what sport needs. So, and it's the same. The Angels and Dodgers would be in the same division, and as we know, the Angels have swept the Dodgers in the series this season. So I think I had to get that in. I don't know. I think with all of these things, we'll wait and see. There's going to be so many hoops and things for it to go through before it even becomes realistic. So we'll wait and see.
Okay. Trace, anything to add?
It would just be interesting to see if it creates any new rivalries, because you've got the sort of traditional rivalries like us Philly, us Yankees. Would it lead to something different with facing other teams potentially more? So that would be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a watch this space. Nothing is imminent in that regard, but yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on moving forward. Going back to Mets baseball, I too enjoyed the Little League Classic. I thought it was nice. The content behind the scenes was very wholesome. A lot of the players interacting with the kids. That was really nice to see. Jeff McNeil actually smiling and having a good time. He can do it. It is possible.
Yes.
That was nice to see. Also, the other positive I want to talk about from last week before we jump to tour, Nolan McLean getting his call up, getting his first start. The boy smashed it. He's not really a boy anymore, is he? But you know what I mean. He absolutely smashed it. Did a fantastic job by all accounts. Mets pitcher going beyond 5 innings. Whoop, whoop. Just some really nice stuff from him. Long may that continue. It was nice that there wasn't any of the nerves like we saw with some of the others that got pulled up. Looking at you, Tidwell. But yeah, it was just a nice thing to see. Good to have some impact, and like I said, hopefully that continues moving forward. Now, it wouldn't be a Mets roundup without our night owl chiming in. She watches every minute of every game. Tor, what your thoughts?
Hey, it's good to be sitting down. Guess what? I didn't watch any of the Little League Classic live. I think it's like maybe the 4th game this year that I've not watched them live. But I blame the rain delay, right? Because what happened was, I've said this before, I don't always intend. Sometimes I make a point of saying I am going to watch this game tonight. Often it's just because my body goes, oh, there's baseball on, you better wake up. So 5 past midnight, I woke up and I was so tired. I intended to sleep and I knew I needed to be up and So I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to watch on my phone. And so I put it on and it was in a delay. So I was like, oh, okay. And then just literally within about a minute or two, I was back asleep. So I was like, win. But then I woke up naturally at like 10 past 4 on Monday morning. So, you know, that served me right, didn't it? So I just put it on then. So there's the, you know, the bombshell of the week. Obviously, there are lowlights, which I'm not going to dwell too much on, but losing a 6-run lead in that second game against the Braves, it was just, I've lost count of how many times we've used the word brutal recently. There is just, and it was such an early lead as well. And to go then 11 unanswered after that was, did not like it. Gave us 13 losses in 15 games, which was, you know, it's low. But, you know, I can't remember if it was after that game where, or one before I posted the D-Ream gif. Things can only get better. And they are. So it's all good. Moving on to the Seattle series. Mitch bloody Garver. What the hell has he got over us? Like, just how? It's crazy. The stolen base streak ending. I mean, that was a positive to begin with, getting the franchise record there, but that ending on a little bit of a, was it a pickoff? Was it a caught stealing? It's a bit of a dodgy one. But, oh, and then of course, Alvy's injury, which I know that we'll get onto. That is a big low light. But brutal as losing a 6-run lead was, we had a 6-run lead again. Like, it was there. It's positive. Senga went 6. Wow. I mean, that is what we need. We need that Senga back. Soto, that is, these days we have to be clear. Just full stop. Juan Soto. He just keeps doing this, and people are still bashing him. It drives me insane. Lindor is currently smoking hot. He had like a 2 home run night against Seattle in the first game. Every time now he's at the plate, you expect him to do something, and then his usual Lindor self that he's never lost in the field. Did you see that kind of over the shoulder catch in the field in I think it was 2 against Seattle? It was just insane. So he's been incredible. We talked a little bit about Nolan McLean, and not only was it great for him from our side, the fact that we were able to get the win behind him against Wu. I mean, Wu is outstanding right now. So the fact that we were able to get that win, you know, he worked his way out of trouble in the second and in the fifth. Like, he didn't, but he just, I know Hefner came out, I think it was in the second, and just kind of had a word, but, you know, he got through it. He did not look panicked at all. He didn't look overwhelmed. It was just great. And the atmosphere around it, you could tell it really lifted the crowd as well. And then that crazy double play where he caught it behind his back, he was going past. I've got to mention Keith Rad's call of that was top tier as well. It was a really great call. He got that, like I said, he got that incredible ovation. 5 1/3 innings, 0 runs, 8 Ks. Get your ass back on that mound. Thank you very much, Nolan McLean. I mean, if nothing else had happened this week, that on its own is the biggest highlight we can have, because we are going to need that from him for the next 2.5 months, please. Thanks. Alongside that, as I mentioned, you know, bats hitting up. Just overall, we scored plenty of runs over this past week. again, that's been coming. We've had the odd game lately where we've scored for fun and then it's gone quiet again. But over the last week, we've consistently scored multiple runs. The Beatles night, I mean, how fun was that? We're still having some fun. I know we lost that game, but even so, that was great. I was loving hearing Howie enjoying all of that and going through his little stories. Another thing that came through for me, which is often at home, multiple Jesse Winker sightings in the dugout. That is always a win. We love Jesse. I want him back on the field. The overall, you use the word wholesome, Tom. That's what I've got as well. The wholesomeness of the Little League Classic. It was those events. They're necessary. We need them, and we need to see them. I've got to say, much as I didn't see it live, I still chose to listen to Keith and Pat on radio audio when I watched it back because I just couldn't. I'm glad to hear that ESPN did a good job of it, but I just couldn't do it. So I still listened to the radio audio, which was, as usual, very good. And we got a Soto shuffle. Maybe he's going to bring that back now. Maybe we have the Little Leaguers to thank for Soto bringing back the shuffle for the rest of the season. They demanded it. They got it. I love that. I love that he did that for them. So plenty to be happy about. Look, 2-game winning streak. Go us.
We'll take that. Absolutely. Take that all day long. Right. Before we move into the news, just a reminder, Sheffield, Yorkshire, north of England, are you ready? Because 14th of September, 6 p.m, box in Sheffield. The address is pinned to the top of our socials pages. Baseball watch party. 3 of us are going to be there. We're putting Mets Rangers on in the bar. Even if you're not a fan of the Mets, I don't know why you'd be listening to this anyway, but even if you're not a fan of the Mets, the Orioles guys are coming as well because they are Sheffield based, top lads. It's going to be a fun evening. It's going to be a really fun evening. So come on down. If you're thinking of coming, let us know and we'll add you to the list. Free entry. Just come on down, enjoy some baseball, hang out with some other baseball like-minded people, hang out with the 3 of us. Why would you not want to do that?
Well, I'm questioning my choices at this point. I know what you prefer than I. It'll be great. It'll be great. I have to say as well, a friend of mine who knows that we have this planned was because Stoke were playing in Sheffield at the weekend, and he went to the box specifically and was raving about it. So that it's a great venue. So
excellent.
Good to know.
And knowing Sheffield, it's really straightforward to get to. It's quite centrally located. It's not out of the way. It's in town centre. You can't miss it. It's pretty easy.
It's very conveniently like 2 minutes away from a hotel.
Yeah, and about 5 minutes from Sheffield train station if you're thinking of joining us on the train.
Win.
Exactly. Win. So that's coming up 14th September. Be there or be square. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Fun. We're 90s kids.
I wish I was a 90s kid.
Yeah.
Over the last week, not much in the way has happened in the world of the Mets. Start of the transactions, Mets optioned Justin Hageman, activating Paul Blackburn. The Mets then, as we said, called up Nolan McLean, DFA'd Blackburn, and this is breaking news. It's literally happened within the last couple of minutes whilst we were on air, which, as we know, tradition on the podcast. Anthony Tacoma reporting the Mets have now formally released Paul Blackburn yesterday after he cleared waivers. He had the right to refuse an outright assignment given how long he's been with the Mets. He's now free to sign anywhere he likes. Given that the guy's made of glass and has been injured so much whilst he's been with the Mets, I don't think he's going to be missed, other than the fact we're maybe a little bit short at the moment pitching-wise, but there's better out there as far as I'm concerned. We've also called up Acuna, who's then optioned the next day. Injury-wise, Tyler McGill managed to strike out 9 in a rehab assignment in Binghamton. Jonah Tong has been sensational in his AAA debut, hitting some really good numbers. Come on, Jonah, you can do it. One to watch for next year, I think. We've got a lefty pitcher, Santucci. He striked out 11 in his Binghamton first appearance, which is a career high for him. Jet Williams and Carson Bench are also impressing in AAA. Now they've been promoted and called up to there. So things are looking really good in the minors. Kind of where the positives end, because Alvarez MRI on his right thumb after the Little League Classic. Joel Sherman is saying he's on the IL. The team haven't said anything officially yet. As we all know, tradition with the podcast, I will press end recording and Mendy will come out and say, oh, he's on the IL. Doesn't seem to be looking good. Andy Martino hinting that it might be out for the season for Alvarez, which is a worry. Mostly on the side of like, he's had multiple hand injuries. I know this is the other hand from last time, but multiple hand injuries, multiple surgeries, it's not a good thing, especially when you're a young age like Alvarez is. Obviously, we wish him a speedy recovery. I'd say keep fingers crossed, but I don't think he can do that either. So we'll just have to hope for the best.
Meow.
Pete has hit 100 RBIs again. Well done to Pete. As if breaking the home run record wasn't enough, he's smashing in the RBIs as well. Juan Soto recorded the first 30-20 season of his career after stealing his 20th base last week. Well done, Soto. And Francisco Lindor was named National League Player of the Week, because why wouldn't he be? So, lots has happened over the last week. Any thoughts? We'll start with Tor.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that the Blackburn thing was a massive surprise. And there was hints of it earlier today that's how they were looking to play it. So it's not a massive surprise. It's not a massive loss talent-wise. I feel bad because before he got injured the last time, he was looking all right, and it looked like he could have come back and given us something from the pen. So it's a shame. I think you're right. I think it perhaps leaves us a little light. But given it, we just need to get our starters going longer so that we don't rely on the pen so much. That would be great. It's been a running theme this season. Excellent from our triple and double A guys. It's a really, really exciting time for us, and we're getting to see them come through, and then we're getting, McLean coming through. Tong is absolutely the bright spark. Everybody's got their eyes on him. So it's excellent to see him doing so well. Alvy's injury, we can bring Senga up to catch, right? What we are going to miss is Alvy's bat since he's been back. It's a big loss. It's a big, big loss. He has improved defensively as well since he's been back, but the biggest contribution has been with his bat. And it's going to be, we've been saying how great it is that we've been scoring all these runs, and now we've lost a portion of that. And I can't not say congrats to Francisco Lindor, because he thoroughly deserves it. He was amazing, and I've got my Lindor shirt on just to celebrate. But outstanding, and it's great to see some of our guys recognised.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Senga thing is a concern for me if Alvy is out for the season. Obviously, we don't know that for certain yet, but the fact that Andy Martino is hinting at it, kind of the writing's on the wall there. For me, the Senga thing's a worry. As much as I love Terens, he's no Alvarez when it comes to the offensive side of the game. I mean, he's great defensively, but offensively, no. And the same with Senga. For me, he's a lovely story, and he seems like a really nice guy. Defensively, he's okay. He's not as good as Terens is. Offensively, he's horrendous. He's really bad. And I think, like you said, Tor, there's just going to be this massive gulf, and we've not got any other options at this point. There's no one else that you can kind of go, oh, well, what about this guy? I mean, the Mets might need to take a look at the catching position in the off season. Anyway,
maybe we can tempt Big Dumper. Come Come on, mate. It's not happening. It's not happening.
No.
But yeah, we can dream.
We can dream. Yeah. What about you, Trace? Any thoughts on the news?
As always, I echo everything that Tor said with our guys in the minors. It's really nice to hear them being celebrated, which is a thing that I think we've missed in previous seasons. Whether it was that they weren't there or that they're just making a bigger thing of it now, I don't know. But I noticed like the big boy Mets account has been tweeting a lot more stuff about the guys in the farm system, which is really exciting for the future and fills me with hope, not just for maybe the next couple of years, but sort of 5-10 years down the line as well. Because we've made some really good picks, and I was reading earlier that they think we've picked the top pick in the international draft as well, which is always good. Like, I think he is Dominican again, possibly. I only had a quick flick through. McLean was amazing, and it was really sweet seeing his mum and dad and family and friends in the crowd. Apparently, the Mets pod have given him the name Cowboy Otani, which
okay.
yeah, interesting. And yeah, I love Alvarez. I have done since he came up, and it's going to be such a big miss for that. As Tom says, maybe it's time to start building our prospects for catchers, because we keep hearing about pitching prospects. Maybe it's time to bring in some fresh blood for the catching prospects, and maybe a new third string catcher or a replacement maybe for Torrens as well.
We've now got it. It's now come through officially from the Mets. Francisco Alvarez has been placed on the 10-day injured list, retroactive to August 18th, which was yesterday, with a right thumb UCL sprain. He will be re-evaluated in 10 to 14 days for return to play. So I suppose the word sprain gives us some optimism.
Yeah, I like
he's not
that.
being re-evaluated for another 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. Who knows?
Yeah,
that's not official. It's come through from the Mets account, so there we go.
Well, that'll give time for swelling and things to go down, to have another look, make sure it's nothing more serious than just a strain. I really hope it isn't, because his bat, since he's come back from his stint in the minors, has been so hot. And just Toria made me remember this. Did you see the catcher's gear in the Little League Classic Players Weekend?
It's so cute.
Yes.
So cute.
Big Dumper had all baseball cards on his. And Alvy was like a baseball field, and it was just really cute.
Carl Riley's was I think it was pictures of his teammates at Little League. I think that's what the cards were. I know. Really cute. And Alvy's was great as well. It was just like the whole thing was so wholesome. Quick one, going back to our affiliates. Hands up, who's going to be behind home plate at Cyclones game next week?
Yeah, I don't like you anymore.
That'd be me.
Yeah, well, they were away when I went last.
I know, and literally, like, however many times I've been, I always think I'd love to get to a Cyclones game. I would love to get to a Cyclones game, but I never make it work, and I always prioritize the Mets game. However, I am traveling with my brother next week, and I am dragging him to 2 regular games at Citi Field. And I could have dragged him to Citi Field again on a Thursday to see the same team that I'm dragging him to see on Friday. No, same team we're seeing on Tuesday. Oh, yeah. No, let's do it. We want to go to Coney Island anyway. We love Coney Island. So I was like, let's do the Cyclones. Why not? So I'm doing Cyclones on Thursday.
Very
Not
good.
that I'm excited much.
Mets of the future. There you go. You can give us a report on the rundown.
Yeah, I am very much looking forward to it.
Cool. Right, it's that time of the pod where we answer your questions. We put a tweet out every week asking for your questions. If you want us to answer them, all you have to do is reply. Simple as that. CJ, our friend over in Belgium, has asked if anyone is going to the World Baseball Softball Confederation, the WBSC, in 2025. They play in the Netherlands, Belgium, and Italy. I had to do a bit of Googling on this because I'd never heard of it. So I'm going to hand over to Tracey, who actually understands this a little bit more than I do.
So the upcoming competition is the Baseball European Championships. So it's the men's senior. We've done pretty well in the WBSC recently. Massive shout out to two other teams, Team GB Women's, who this weekend became champions of Europe. And a couple of weeks ago, GB under 23s also became champions of Europe. So let's see if we can make it a triple.
There we go. Baseball catching up in the UK.
Love
to see
And
it.
if you want to know more, follow GB Baseball or BSUK, Baseball Softball UK as well, because they post updates frequently. So get on there, and they do commentary for some games and stuff as well. So
I will make sure I tag them in the notes on the socials.
Please
so
do.
You'll find them down below, wherever that is. There we go.
Absolutely.
To answer your question, CJ, we're not going. Are you going? I'm sure you are. If it's in Belgium and it's baseball, I'm sure he's going to be there.
Absolutely.
CJ, if you are listening, make sure you take your Jeff McNeil flag with you and try and get that on tally again, because we love to see it. Absolutely.
We do. And give them a shout for us.
Yes, definitely. Question number 2 comes from Positive Jeff, all the way over in Arizona. It's your turn to bat. What is your walk-up song? Tor, what are you going to go with?
My gut right now it's a little bit cheesy, but it's quite relevant. Shake It Off. Bit of Swifty, Shake It Off. I mean, it's just relevant in all aspects of life right now, but particularly, when you're going, so you might have had a terrible at bat, you might be 5 runs down. Doesn't matter. Shake it off. Get to that batter's box and give it some, guys.
Who doesn't love it?
Get me going anyway. I'd probably have to have a little bit of a dance though. Is the problem?
What, Savannah Bananas styly?
Yeah. Start having a little shake it off,
little
wiggle. And then, I think we might have a bit of issues. I might get penalised once or twice. Anyway, that's me.
Oh, cool. It's a good choice. Tracey?
Mine's very, very different tours. Mine's Chasing Status featuring Tom Grennan. When it all goes wrong. Now it sounds really negative, but it's not. If you actually,
that's pumping.
Yeah. And it's talking about turning things round and seeing the light in the dark. So yeah.
Love that.
I didn't see that coming, that one. You're right. Before the show, we were talking about this, and Trace's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. I want you to live react. I did not see that coming.
See, I can still surprise you guys.
Yeah.
How about you, Tom?
For mine, mine's a bit of an emotional, so I grew up, those of you that know me, I grew up listening to New York hardcore, which is how I got into the whole sort of New York scene. I totally would have been one of the kids at CBGB's if I was in New York in the early 2000s, but I never made it in time, unfortunately. So for me, I'm going to go with, there's a New York band called Leeway, who were from Astoria. The vocalist Eddie Sutton was a massive Mets fan, and some of the Leeway merch was Mets Incorporated. He'd often wear Mets hats at the gigs and stuff. Big Mets fan. He died last year, so I would say he would be sort of my walk-up music. There's a track of theirs called Enforcer off their debut album, which is like iconic. So I'd go with that one. Try and sort of pump me up, get me going before I have my at-bat. A little bit of a nod as well to New York itself. So that'll be my pick. But hey, let us know your picks down below in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on any of our takes from this evening. What do you think? Let us know. Comment down below. Moving on, next week, we've got quite a few games. There's 7 between now and our next podcast. Ooh. So this will be a busy week. 3 against the Nationals on the road. Thursday's game is UK friendly. There's then 3 against the Braves on the road. Sunday is UK friendly. Then there is 1 against the Phillies, part of a home stint against them. Interesting, the Phillies looking likely to not have Wheeler available. He's now on the 15-day IL. He's going to be out for a while. So with that in mind, 3 against the Nationals, 3 against the Braves, 1 against the Phillies. Ladies, let's have your predictions, starting with Tracey.
Right. 2-1 against the Nationals, probably losing the UK friendly game because that's how we roll at the moment. I think that we are going to get back at the Braves and take all 3. And I think we're going to beat the Phillies.
Okay. I like that. I like the positivity. You are right, though. Lately, the UK friendly games have been the worst games. Like, it's like they know we're watching. It's like, right, let's just play really badly. They're just painful to watch, really painful to watch. Although I completely forgot. Whilst I was away, I was in the room during a Brett Beatty home run. I'm allowed to stay in the room.
You hadn't walked out of the room? You hadn't walked out of the room?
I hadn't walked out the room. I've broken the curse. So
well done.
The one positive about the UK friendly games. Tor, what about you? What's your predictions for the upcoming week?
I'm kind of with Tracey, because I don't think the Nationals are really hot and cold at the minute. They've had some like really surprising results. It's just like, how did that happen? So it wouldn't surprise me to drop 1. It wouldn't surprise me if we drop 1 against the Braves, but we absolutely owe them a kicking. So I'm gonna say we're gonna take that 2-1 as well. And we are going to beat the Phillies. That I think, not only is it a Tuesday, we know what happens on Tuesdays. It's going to be, the start of, an important divisional homestand. And I think that I'm getting ahead of myself because Tuesday is when I'm there. But I think we're gonna get off to a really good start against them. I think that the crowd are going to be right behind them. These are the games that matter, right? We've got these 7 games against the Phillies between now and the end of the year. That is where we make our move. That could be division or not. So I would like to hope that, and the guys know that. I can't imagine that they're gonna kind of buckle under the pressure of that. I think they're gonna rise to it.
Okay. I think we're going to go 3-3 on the road. I think coming away from that, if that's probably the best we can hope for, given recent form, I think, we'll probably take the Nationals, but then lose the Braves series because for some reason we're just being destroyed by the Braves on their down year for whatever reason. I think we're going to lose that first Phillies game. I'm going to say it. I think we're going to be 3-4 this time next week. I've just not got the good vibes. It's not, like I said at the start of the show, the Mets I've come back to since I've come back from France, they've not been the same as what I was seeing beforehand. I've got a bad feeling about it. I did say something similar on like X. I don't think we need to be worrying too much about what the other teams are doing right now. I know SNY put this out like, oh, there's 38 games left and we need to be watching the Reds. It's like, no, absolutely not. We need to be focusing on our baseball, our games, worrying about the things we can control. So I'm not worried if we're X number of games behind the Phillies or, we're so many games ahead of the Reds. No, we just need to try and win as many of these games as possible, take as many of these series as possible, and just worry about the things that the Mets can control. I'd love to be wrong. I'm usually wrong. I'd love to be wrong again, this time next week, but I just can't see past it being 3-4 by the time we come back this time next week. Sorry. There we go. Stunned silence. There we go. So,
well, they're going to win next Tuesday. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
They better.
Because Tor's there, so they have to.
Yeah, they just have to, and especially because it will be my brother's first game.
Yeah.
So they really need to win for me, because otherwise I'm going to have to drag him back on the Friday kicking and screaming.
Poor guy. Anyway, on that negative note, we'll end the podcast there. We will be back same time, same place next week. Like I said before, let us know your thoughts, comments, takes down below in the comments. Don't forget to check out GB Baseball and BSUK as well. Thanks, ladies, for joining. All that leaves us to say is let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.